You arrived in the UK again yesterday, and this time to do more than just these interviews with me. You are speaking at the One Young World event, Meghan, something you did for the first time back in 2014.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
Oh, they were lucky to have her.
Of course, Harry. And you showed your green credentials by travelling to Manchester from London by train. I presume this is a vain attempt to counteract the terrible optics, Harry, of you travelling to a polo match in a private jet.
Yeah, but I drove an eco car thingy to the jet.
Whilst your kit and polo bag was ferried behind you in a separate gas guzzler.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least we won the match.
Yeah, we did our bit. We traveled on public transport, amidst the throngs of well-wishers and supporters. But I have to admit, when I got to Euston Station in London, I was getting a bit apprehensive, I was getting a little bit concerned.
Euston, we have a problem.
Oh, worried about being so close to the common cretins and the unwashed hordes of day job workers.
Yeah, but it's okay, I braved it and I got through it. I was like, just tell yourself you've got guards, you've got, armed guards, so.
And I was there, Meghan. I'll always protect you.
Yes, like a knight in rusty armour.
Oh, she was very brave, very brave. One of her fans tried to touch her arm, but luckily she was able to beat her away with a back scratcher.
You refer to your fans, Meghan, but when you arrived at the Manchester Brightwater Hall, you were met by a 100-strong crowd, replete with uncouth placards offering unsolicited advice.
Yeah, saying, "Be gone," or words to that effect.
And there were boos, too.
Yeah, I know, but there are always going to be haters, right? So I just focus on the job at hand, on my mission.
To bring love and understanding to everyone in the world, except for the members of our immediate families.
Yes, Harry. And you'll be staying in Frogmore Cottage in Windsor.
Oh, it won't be for long, Pudding. You can exfoliate for a week when we get home.
Did you just call me Pudding?
Which is only a stone's throw from your brother William and his family, but apparently there are no plans to meet up.
Well, I would rather meet up with Will.I.Am than Prince William, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but remember, Will.I.Am said he's not going to invite us to any more parties after our appearance at the last one.
No, really? Why?
Well, he said we didn't add anything, Apparently you were too stupid to even hold a basic conversation with, and I was too fake for even his fakiest of fake friends.
Oh, that's fair.
In your speech in Manchester, Meghan, you managed to perform your normal trick of using lots of words to say absolutely nothing whatsoever. For example, you said, "We often hear people say, 'the time is now.' But I'm going to double down on that by saying, 'your time is now. The important work can't wait for tomorrow.' And this week, the world is watching as you cement your place in history by showcasing the good that you are doing today in the present moment as we embrace the moment of now to create a better tomorrow."
Riveting.
I think it was pretty clear what I was saying.
Yes, you appear to have gone to the Kamala Harris School of Profound Oratory.
Well, I've never seen them both in the same room. Have you?
No, Harry. But Meghan, your speech was packed full of these pointless platitudes. For instance, what does a better world consist of?
A world free from hate and prejudice, defined by inclusivity and tolerance, and where equity is key, and public discourse and political discourse is tailored towards helping and not harming.
And when the army is full of women and led by transgender generals.
And one where there's institutional insistences, that can ensure the outcome and hold it there once the progress has been achieved?
Which means, ironically, that we'd become conservatives at that point, trying to conserve the progress.
Can't believe I'm saying this, Harry, but very good point. But Meghan, how would you reply to those who say that your version of a better world is little more than a woke, ravished carbuncle on the fleshy thigh of history? Or as Felicity Fassett from Royal Wootton Bassett says, a communist hellhole bejeweled by plastic gemstones and enriched by a scent of honey, albeit destined to lead to the demise of all lured in by its toxic appeal?
Well, I've got my bigot meter here.
Oh, the Bigotron 2000.
The Alpha series. And yeah, readings are off the charts.
And that's it, you know? These people arguing against bringing about a better world. I mean, like, they can dress it up all they want in fancy words and undeniable logic, but
we know what it's really about.
Yeah, you know, upholding a white supremacist narrative that has kept women and minorities down ever since the dawn of time.
Since time immemorial. But I can't remember exactly when that was.
Well, the world is very lucky that you can see this, Meghan, and that you go to such lengths to inform,
instruct might be a better word,
everyone as to what a better world is.
Oh, she's all give.
Indeed, Harry, and she gave herself generous applause during the speech, referencing herself a staggering 54 times in 7 minutes, which is 7.71 times per minute, or roughly once every 7.78 seconds.
Which was quite restrained, I think.
Yeah, I want to use my life and my experiences as a model for other young people, particularly young girls, who get told, you know, you can't make it, you can't be this, you can't get there. And, you know, like you said, 2014, when I first made an appearance, I was just like that little actress from Suits. Now look at me. I mean, how did I get here, right?
I think we all know the answer to that one.
But it's almost like you never learn, Meghan. Your speech was very much me, and me again.
Me again, and me. Me again, and me.
Opening you up to the very fair criticism that you're so arrogant that you've literally lost the plot. You're no longer tethered to reality.
Me again, and me, who floats around no longer tethered to reality. That's going on the album.
Cara Kennedy, writing for The Spectator, claims that you're being frozen out of Hollywood, one hideous red carpet event at a time. I added the word hideous.
We've had a full work schedule, right? We're not being frozen out by anyone. We're just, not making ourselves available at the moment.
Yeah, we're not putting out in terms of hobnobbing. We're not showing any leg, if you will.
Yeah, then of course there's the issue of all the media attention that we bring with our fame and superstardom. And I think it's right that we pay heed to that fact. It's not fair that we just keep turning up to steal the show all the time.
Well, there's nothing that we hate more than endless media attention. Sometimes I wish we could just be left alone. Still worshipped.
A modest request if I've ever heard one, Harry. And an LA insider has, according to the article, confirmed that one of the reasons you're being blackballed is due to your, I quote, capacity to share.
Well, ever since I've met Meghan, I always share. I share every single mental difficulty I've ever had with the world. I've stopped all that laughing and joking, freeing up time to properly concentrate on my mental health.
Yeah, his jolliness was getting in the way of progress.
Pesky. Although, back to your attention-grabbing ways, it isn't always a problem. In fact, it's often a boon to have a media-grabbing celebrity at a gathering. Something the host can show off about.
All right, so you're saying it's not a problem that we demand attention and that everyone wants to meet us?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, great.
Although it's not necessarily a problem that people are dying to meet you, the problem arises when they finally meet you, and it's you two that they meet. You know, you're like a pair of vulgarly ostentatious Rubik's zirconias in a treasure chest of diamonds.
Diamonds are racist.
Or as the article's LA source describes you, a couple who lack the charisma, dedication, and charm needed to be A-list celebrities.
Oh, poppycock.
So, dedication. Does anyone honestly believe that I lack dedication? I mean, my dedication levels are literally off the charts. I mean, do you realize what I've had to do to get to where I am today?
Poor girl.
Yes, we're all aware.
Do you know how many family members and husbands she's had to turn her back on to finally get in the public eye where she belongs?
Oh, no, fair point, Harry. Perhaps the lack of dedication accusation's slightly unfair, but lacking charisma and charm, you've got to admit, they got you there.
Hook, line and sinker.
So how do you reply to those who say that they've had ingrowing toenails with more charm than you, Meghan?
Well, I'd say that ingrowing toenails are...
Racist. Yes, I thought you might, Harry. That was the video, and if you'd be kind enough to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, it would be much appreciated. Continuing on with the claim made by Cara Kennedy in The Spectator that you are being frozen out of Hollywood one event at a time, and particularly the quote by her LA source saying that your capacity to share is one of the main reasons for this. Do you think that this ambiguous phrase could also refer to your loose-lipped nature?
You tell me one time where we've been loose-lipped.
Well, obviously, I can't dignify that with a response, Harry. But Meghan, do you think that perhaps your blabbermouth personas might be dissuading invitors from including you on a list of their invitees?
Well, I can tell you one thing. There's a lot more that I haven't said than I have said, okay? I'm literally stuffed to the brim with things that I haven't said.
Like a belly full of Skittles.
You could write a series of books about the things I haven't said.
And we plan to.
Yes, well, it's a mystery to me why you two are so unpopular. Yet, Meghan, it must be asked, how can you have so much to say when you lived as a member of the royal family for so little time?
Oh, that's when you need to be a little bit more flexible.
You know, expressing yourself fully in a written form, it's like an opera on the page.
Yes, we've seen a performance of your sounds.
And when you're expressing yourself holistically, you're no longer inhibiting yourself within the white supremacist substructure.
Proper expression means letting go of the dogmatic boundary between reality and fiction.
See? I told you, if you practiced, you'd be able to say it.
I almost choked on dogmatic.
You know, what's happened to me and my experiences will always be my truth. Okay? Right? And like, my truth and my story might not ascribe to the black and white nature of logic and the English language. And, you know, a language built on racism.
And which feeds on hate.
Oh, wow. You even learned some of the slogan cards.
I had no idea whether it was appropriate or not. I just went with it. I'm glad I did.
You know, you've really got to remove certain criteria as to the validity of your statements if you truly want to express the poetry of being and of oneness and of what it was really like for me and my truth.
Oh, I see. So you're going for stories and allegations that are no longer sullied by the requirements of truthfulness, no longer held down by the beasts of honesty.
No longer chewing on the Skittles of credibility.
But how do you reply to those who say you can't just make stuff up to sell books and remain relevant?
I'd say that we believe in inclusivity in all circumstances. So when you're writing a biography, you shouldn't exclude certain things just because they didn't happen.
There have been reports, Harry, that you've asked to make late-in-the-day refinements to your upcoming book.
A few tweaks.
One may assume that the reason for this has been influenced by your first-hand witnessing of the outpouring of support for the monarchy, perhaps even because of the fragile truce that was struck between you and your family in the aftermath of the death of Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh, no, nothing to do with that. I just randomly remembered a few things about stuff a few months later.
We're not even sure if, we can change it, because it might not be possible.
Yeah, it's because they gave us a whole load of moolah in advance, so they want to keep all the juicy bits in.
Well, of course.
And besides, it was only a fragile truce. So, to be perfectly honest, they couldn't have been rooted to me if they tried. But, gotta rise above it, so smiley, smiley.
That's very big of you.
My Meghan is bigger than an Indonesian rat, and they're massive.
But it was only a tentative ceasefire, and we're now getting ready to lob some grenades back over the castle walls.
There'll be no reconciliation with my father or my brother until things get set straight and I get what's coming to me. 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 Get what's coming to me.
Shh. Well, there may be a reciprocal in this ultimately sad but endlessly fascinating dynamic. Much has been and is being written about you two, particularly you, Meghan.
Lies.
Allegedly. The things they say, allegedly. The games they play, allegedly.
Yeah, it's me for vendetta. But I can tell you one thing about this whole melodrama, There's an awful lot of projection going on.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that, Meghan.
And that's why me and Harry, we've got to be strong, We got to make sure, we're by each other's side.
There's no need to hide your pride, 'cause I'll always be by your side.
It's funny, Harry, because when you sang a Mariah Carey song before, it was an impression of her voice. Yet when you sing one of your songs, it's your voice.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sing Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Sweet Caroline,
Do, do, do.
good times never seem so good.
Right, now sing Get What's Coming to Me.
Get what's coming to me. Get what's coming to me. Get what's coming to me. Get what's coming to me.
Yeah, can you imagine living with this?
Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching you, touching me.
Do, do, do.
Sweet Caroline.
Do, do, do.
Good times never seem so good.